In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to get more rare brain rots inside of Plants vs Brainrots, and I'm going to be showing you the best tricks that I've used to get myself some of the best brain rots inside of the game, including limited event ones, secrets that are only obtainable during events, and so much more. Obviously, not every secret inside of the game is going to be good, but getting some rare pets such as this Pumpkino will definitely earn you tons and tons of cash inside of the game. So I'm going to be showing you how you can get yourself something similar to this or rarer if you do it correctly. Anyways, let's get right into this video. So it's important to know the best way of getting yourself a guaranteed secret every time they spawn is by having a really strong layout inside of your garden. And the best way to get a strong layout is obviously to buy the seeds directly without trading them, because you're more likely going to get a good seed than have somebody else trade you a plant that is good, because it's likely players are going to scam when you trade. So I would suggest getting them from the plant shop. How do you know when a good plant like the starfruit seed is going to appear in the shop? Well, that's a great question, and my answer for that you join into Discord servers that alert you whenever the plant shop restocks with something decent. Now, finding these Discord servers should not be that difficult, but if you need suggestions on how to find them, my best suggestion is for you to go into the main Discord server for Plants vs Brainrots and ask people inside of that server if they know any places that alert them whenever the plant shop restocks with rare seeds, such as the ones that are secret. Why does focusing on seeds matter inside of the game? Well, without really good seeds, it's going to be really difficult for you to get a good brain rot, especially ones that are secret, limited, or have insane rarities on them. And that is because inside of the game, a lot of the brain rots spawn from the spawn point and will attack your plants. So obviously, if you don't have good plants, you won't be able to secure the brain rots even if they do spawn inside of the game. Now, after you get these particular plants, what is the next step you should do? My suggestion would be is for you to go into the gear shop and obviously camp out the gear shop. What do I mean by camp out the gear shop? Well, essentially, there are items like this carrot launcher that typically spawn occasionally, or even some of the other good items inside of the gear shop like the frost grenade. And the reason why you want to camp out this shop in particular is because you can have an auto clicker set up on one of these things and just keep purchasing it whenever it respawns. Obviously, not everyone is able to do that, and there may be other places where you would want to AFK, so if you do not want to do it here, that is fine. But for players who want to have a lot of gear, it's going to be really important later on, so this is why I'm mentioning it now. The next thing you want to do if you are trying to get yourself some rare brain rots is to have auto sell on for every tier that is lower than mythic. Why that is important is pretty straightforward, because mythic brain rots inside of the game don't earn you a lot of cash per second, especially when you're comparing them to these limited brain rots that I have. They earn you close to nothing, so having auto delete on will be really helpful when it comes to doing that inside of the game. And the reason for this is because unlike some other games, Plants vs Brainrots does not allow you to have an infinite amount of inventory, so you have a very scarce amount of place to store your brain rots that you get. Obviously, these brain rots do range pretty significantly from the best ones to the worst ones. They have a really big range on how much you earn. So obviously, you don't want to necessarily have auto sell on everything, but you do want to have auto sell on anything that is worse than mythic. So that is my suggestion to all players inside of the game if you're trying to get better brain rots. Now, the next thing you could do inside of the game if you are trying to get yourself something really good, such as this secret, is to get on during admin abuse inside of the game. And in case you don't know what admin abuse is, it is this event that happens every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which the owner Jandel typically runs a ton of events. These events can be anything from restocking seeds inside of the shop, all the way to giving you really good brain rots, which will obviously appear in the game similar to this elephant right here. Obviously, you don't really want to miss these brain rot events at all, because a lot of the admin abuse that happen inside of the game reward you with the most crazy items ever, including sometimes even the best brain rots in the game in general. So you don't really want to miss out, and I would suggest you play the game whenever they do run these particular admin abuse. Now, what else can you do in order to get yourself some very rare brain rots? Well, as I mentioned at the beginning, trading is typically really sketchy, but if you do trade with the right people, it's likely you can easily trade up to a really good brain rot, such as this dragon or even the pumpkino that I have inside of the game. The most common way to trade inside of the game is to trade plants for brain rots or brain rots for plants, because the typical player typically needs one or the other more than the one they have, so obviously they would trade for that item if you have it. And obviously, knowing that, you can easily get yourself some good brain rots or good plants, and trading them back and forth will eventually get you something spectacular, such as these pumpkinos that I have inside of the game. Now, what else can you do inside of the game if you're trying to get rare brain rots? As you can see by my spawn area, there are a ton of different ways to get more luck inside of the game, which, as you saw earlier, did give me some spawns, including something like this meme lucky egg, which are limited items in the game. And how you get more luck inside of the game in order to get those items is by just having the game open and letting your plants destroy these brain rots. As you can see, my luck is at 11 times right now, but if I destroy more of these boss spawns, I will be getting more luck, especially if I do it very often. So that is why you should have good plants down whenever you get the chance to get them. Like, even though inside of the game you are trying to get really good brain rots, it's important to evenly distribute the quantity of good plants and the quantity of good brain rots to a fair equal amount, because if you have one side like the plants that are way too good and your brain rots are bad, it's not going to be easy for you to obviously get more plants or even more brain rots whenever given the chance, because you need a little bit of both in order to do good in the game. Inside of the game, plants typically destroy the brain rots that spawn, and these brain rots give you cash every second. So as I mentioned, you should have a very balanced amount of plants and a very balanced amount of brain rots. Because obviously, if you don't have enough brain rots and you have a lot of plants, you might not have a lot of cash, which will overall leave you in a bad situation, especially when something like a secret plant spawns in the shop. You can't purchase it because you don't have enough cash. Now, friendly reminder for players who don't check the card area inside of the game, since it's pretty new, make sure to always have decent cards that either help you with destroying brain rots or earning you more cash. Those are the ones I would suggest over the ones that do like random events, such as every 200 brain rots increases the spawn by 10x. Even though that gives you more brain rots, it's better to be earning more cash from each brain rot or having them destroy the brain rots and do damage, because you will likely do better inside of the game having these cards in particular. Anyways, hopefully this video helped you get better brain rots inside of the game. If you guys have any questions, make sure to ask down below in the comments. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have any suggestions for new players that may be struggling, comment down below so you can help them out. Other than that, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.